Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Margaret Rutherford, and this is SelfWork's version of You Get the Gist, or YGTG. There's a huge and exciting new product on the market, especially for anyone who has suffered with horrible PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder-based nightmares. I should first tell you I have no relationship with the makers of this product. I just heard about it in my Facebook closed group, and I've gotten so excited about it. I have several patients with both post-traumatic stress disorder and what's called CPTSD, or complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I know how exhausting and frightening these nightmares are. They're actually often almost like a cross between a nightmare and a flashback, as you may actually feel yourself in the situation, even though you're asleep. It's a newly approved product by the FDA here in the United States for just this use. And one thing, it requires an Apple Watch as it uses its technology to make it work. You know, I've used hypnosis fairly effectively in the past for these kinds of traumatic nightmares, but there are many who don't want to do hypnosis, don't understand it, or sometimes it doesn't work completely or for a long enough period of time. I've read some of the testimonials by veterans. They use veterans as their subjects for the study, and they certainly say that this is the first relief many of them have had from these intrusive and almost constant nightmares. There are also meds out there that help, such as prazosin and clonopine, but those are meds, and this is a med-free treatment technique. But I'm going to read a bit about this new product. It's called Nightwear to you. I think it could very well be a breakthrough. Now, I don't own an Apple Watch, so I don't know how expensive they are, but it could be well worth it to get rid or at least decrease those awful reminders of trauma from long ago. So I'm actually reading to you from the Nightwear platform. Nightwear is the first and only medical device to be indicated for the temporary reduction of sleep disturbance related to nightmares in adults 22 years or older who suffer from nightmare disorder or have nightmares from PTSD. Clinically significant nightmares are a frequent manifestation of PTSD and sexual trauma, and studies show approximately 80% of PTSD patients experience frequent, recurrent traumatic nightmares that can persist for months, if not years. These nightmares and nightmare disorder are an underdiagnosed and undertreated condition that is associated with significantly higher rates of suicide. And they quote an advisor to Nightwear: disruptive and persistent traumatic nightmares associated with PTSD are significantly underreported and undertreated, and there are no consistently effective treatment options. Basically, a device such as the Nightwear therapeutic platform can perform the necessary reconnaissance of the mind to identify and interrupt post-traumatic stress-associated nightmares. They go on to talk about the research, and again, I will have this link in the show notes. Basically, another fact about it is you have to have a prescription for it. So you have to have the Apple Watch and you have to have a prescription for it. Now you may ask, well, how does it work? I'm not going to go into the details of it because after all, this is a YGTG, but basically first it tracks biometrically your own sleep cycle. The watch monitors heart rate while you sleep, and a gyroscope and accelerometer, similar to fitness watches, monitor movement. The application has a formula that is customized to each individual. Then an intervention occurs, a smartwatch alert vibration at nightmare stress threshold that is designed to arouse but not awaken the wearer, preserving the night's rest. And then the device also processes this data longitudinally, so where it can even begin to better predict each new episode. It's fascinating. So again, for any of you who are interested in this, it's a wearable technology that learns the wearer's sleep patterns and customizes a treatment for each individual. Again, interrupting nightmares so sufferers can get a good night's sleep. And Nightwear is only available to individuals when recommended by a physician. I think this is groundbreaking. I think it's certainly worth it to look into it if you know someone with horrible nightmares from trauma, if you are someone with horrible nightmares from war or sexual trauma. Please look into this. And again, I have no financial agreement with this. I just read it and went, wow, this is fantastic. That's your YGTG for today. I'm Dr. Margaret, and this has been SelfWork.